2 weeks after the Maker is trapped inside the city, Tony Stark and Reed Richards, who calls himself Dr. Doom, have infiltrated Asgard to free Thor, who is imprisoned for treason. After being released from his cell, Thor goes to retrieve Mjolnir that is being guarded by Lady Sif, his warden. Thor fails to convince Sif in allowing him to go free with his hammer and leads to him retrieving Mjolnir and effortlessly defeating Sif and the other guards. Using Mjolnir's power, Thor teleports himself, Tony, Reed and inadvertently Sif to Earth. At Stark Tower, Tony and Reed explains to Thor and Sif about the Maker's machinations that had reshaped their reality into his own twisted vision. He had systematically erased their world's heroes from existence by using the knowledge of the history of their Earth's heroes and thereby denying them the circumstances and events that would have transformed them into what they supposed to be. For example, Thor was meant to be king of Asgard, but instead the Maker helped Loki to kill Odin and steal Thor's birthright. Tony and Reed want to set things right and have recently recovered the frozen body of Captain America. So far they have decided not to thaw him out prematurely because of the potentially fatal consequences. Thor and Sif agree to help their cause. The four begin their next move by infiltrating the capital of Latveria to obtain all the items or catalysts to each hero the Maker had wronged. Upon breaking through the Maker's security, they are surprised to find out the Maker has many repositories in which each holds around 100 of these catalysts. Before they can find a way to move all the repositories, they are suddenly attacked by Henri Dugarry, one of the Maker's council, who impales Thor with his sword and then dispatch Reed and Sif. Dugarry engages Tony but only gets his face directly blasted by Tony's repulsor beam. Thor, though badly wounded, teleports himself and his allies along with a repository back to Stark Tower. Tony quickly activates the tower's emergency medical protocols for Thor. Dugarry had lost his left eye from Tony's attack and informs the rest of the council about his encounter with the intruders. The council sees Tony's intrusion as an opportunity to claim the North American Union. They proceed to hack an orbital platform made by Stark Industries and fire a massive beam of energy at Stark Tower. The tower's systems preemptively alert Tony and the others about the platform, in which Tony resorts to using the Immortus engine to save themselves. The beam hits the building and vaporizes the surrounding area in New York City. The council frames the attack as a terrorist attack committed by Tony Stark since the platform was built by his family, and thereby allowing the redistribution of the NAU to the council. 1 week later, the area where Stark Tower and other nearby buildings are located are left completely vacant after the orbital strike. According to news reports, thousands remain missing and the public have been informed the terrorist attack was committed by Tony Stark, who is believed to have perished in the blast. A terrible act committed by a teenage boy has left many confused people speculating as to why he did it. Meanwhile, in Hinokuni, a car explosively collides with a bicycle in the streets. The driver remains in serious condition, but the 15-year-old girl who was hit by the car escaped without a scratch on her. Elsewhere, regional infighting and open insurgents had broken out in several dynastic strongholds of the Upper and Lower Kingdoms.